Welcome, welcome, welcome again to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. This is the first episode. I know this has been heavily anticipated. Karen is joined us as our co-host. Say what's up, Karen.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited. This is, as Lionel said, our first co-hosted episode, and I'm so excited to be here.
So as we've talked before, and we kind of did this in the onset of this podcast, a focus on women. We all know this is the month of March. It's Women's History Month. The 8th is International Women's Day. So I think there's a really good opportunity to highlight some women and those that are allies of women as we fight and struggle towards equality. So special guest today, the Heartbreak Kidd. He is going to kind of share his story and share some of the amazing things that he's been doing. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm the Heartbreak Kidd, and it's a blessing, and I'm grateful to be on such an amazing platform to highlight some amazing women out there.
All right, so yeah, we'll get into the questions in a second. So I definitely will share that we will kind of have a series as we kind of already running 23 till infinity, the 12 best hip hop albums of 1993, as we're now kind of on a 30-year anniversary of those albums. But some amazing things have happened, obviously, in the sports world. Kind of some of the memorabilia that I'm hanging in behind me today. The Knicks are on fire. The Knicks have won the last 9 games in a row. So I'm very happy, as well as my favorite WNBA player, Kelsey Plum. She just got married on the weekend. So big shout out to Kelsey. She married Darren Waller. Darren, please don't screw it up. But I think this is a big opportunity to kind of really highlight, again, some of the amazing things that are happening in the sports world. But we're going to transition to the Heartbreak Kidd and some of the things that he has been doing. So we're going to start off and talk a little about sneakers. So tell us the kind of the early inception of your sneaker style. Like, where did your style come from? What were some of the early kicks that you kind of got yourself involved in?
My style definitely came from the community. I think majority of us, we all wanted Jordans and stuff like that, but our families couldn't get it at the time. So it was a lot of people in the community that did have some nice shoes and everything. So, I would work hard, have a little job, like a little, fast food joint job, and save a couple checks of just to buy that one pair and everything. So it definitely came from my community.
Okay, amazing. So tell us a little bit about your collection. How many pairs are in it? Is it predominantly Jordans? March is also doubles up as Air Max month. So I'm sure there's a few Air Max that are in there, but why don't you break it down for us?
Sneaker collection, I will roughly say maybe 400.
You're not playing.
It varies. My favorite sneaker is not a Jordan silhouette, to be honest with you. It's an Air Max, actually. And my style that I go for, we all had a little hype beast in us. So I had my little phase, but I love shoes that's not obtainable within the US. So I go for shoes that's outside the country. So most of my collection will be shoes that was not released in the US.
Okay. That's really, really interesting. Hey, so before I turn it over to Karen, always curious to know, what shoes did you wear this week? Or last week, since today is Monday or we're recording.
Yeah.
What shoes did you wear last week?
I actually brought my 5 out because I didn't know if it was going to run it through or not. But I actually brought my 5 that I wore this week.
Okay. Run it. Show us.
So I'll run it through as a quick clip. We have the Royal Toes, Hammerstone Home Butterfly Lace style.
Okay.
I have my UNC 4s.
Nice.
Black lace style. Gotta bring out the black in it. Gotta bring out my patent Jordan 1s. As you can see, I'm very creative with my lace style. I never want to bump into somebody and look the same.
No.
I love for my personality to stand out. My PSG 4s, as you can see, changed the lace style.
Yep.
And then lastly, one of my favorite shoes, a GR.
Oh, and
Stands out.
I love that shoe.
Yes, very stand. Every time somebody see me, they're like, "Where did you get that from?" I'm like, "From the outlet, $90." You'll be surprised.
I have the Air Force One, that's part of that collection. But I love that 97. I just could not. I didn't find my size. Well, my size was available, and I decided not to buy it. And then when I wanted it, it was gone.
Oh wow!
That's how it goes. How it goes. Karen, we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch briefly upon your photography and your passion and your love for it, because it's such a forefront on your platform. And, you know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how you got into it. What do you prefer shooting with? Because I know you have, I believe is it a Canon that you shoot with a lot of your content with?
Yes.
And then I know you also recently met up with a young man to mentor him with photography and content creation. So can you sort of tell us a little bit about your journey and where you see it taking you and how it's going to move you forward?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. So I was watching a sneaker YouTuber, and he had a YouTube channel that was called a 10 clip. And you will come on his show and you'll run 10 of your favorite pairs in your collection real fast. So he'll call it a 10 clip. And then, you know, every time I got new sneakers or something, I'll go on his show and show a 10 clip. And he was like, "Oh man, you'll be a dope host or whatever." I was like, "Oh man, I would love to. I've never been on YouTube before." He was like, "You gotta buy a camera." So he told me to buy this Canon M200. It's a vlogging camera actually. And all I did was just step up the lens a little bit.
Okay.
So that kind of got me into it. Then, you know, the YouTube thing was a little bit too much for me. So I backed out of it, but I still played around with the camera.
Nice.
So I started to create content and started to go out to events and stuff. And I started to kind of like photography a little bit more, but I wouldn't really call myself a photographer. I think a photographer is a person that catches the love in a photo. I think a content creator is somebody who creates the moment. So
interesting. Okay, I like that. I like the distinction that you have of photographer and content creation.
yeah, so I always felt like that was it for me. I was like, I want to be a content creator. I want to go somewhere and create what I'm seeing into an image to my audience instead of just snapping it, telling somebody to pose, snapping it, just catch them blindside. I think the best moments is always when people isn't ready.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Some of the best moments captured are those unexpected moments, and it's just, you know, it's just unexpected. It's so real and it's raw, and those are the best moments, and those are oftentimes the best photographs that you can get.
Yes. I love it. So that's basically how, you know, I got into the whole camera thing and everything. And I will go to events and I will look for women, not with hypebeast shoes, but just shoes in general, not even if it's Jordan. Like you can easily tell if somebody's a sneakerhead or something by what they have or something. Like, oh, this person, they hunted for this shoe. Like this ain't something they just went to the store. Like even if you guys go on GOAT or anything, the fact that you took time out to go to purchase the shoe, to me shows that you have a passion for the culture.
Absolutely. And it also comes from how they wear them, how they carry themselves, you know, and even just talking to them, you can just hear the passion in their voice and the passion and conviction that they talk about what's on their feet or what's in their collection. And it's incredible. And that's how you talk to someone for about 2 hours on sneakers.
Oh yeah, sneakers definitely start a conversation. It definitely start a conversation.
Yeah, they really do.
That's how I feel. Sneakers should always speak in the room before you do. Like when you come in, you know, everybody look down like, oh, okay, those are nice. You know, like they always speak. That should be your personality.
Absolutely. And it does speak to your personality, your style, who you are. And it's just interesting to see how people can come together over a shoe, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're hearing from Karen, who is so particular about what she buys. She will not buy what the average person will buy, what the hype beast will buy. She will only, she's probably one of the most unique sneakerheads I've ever come across. She buys exactly what is in her lane and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I just stick to what I like and, try not to fall into the trap of, the fear of missing out or, having to get the latest and greatest, because sometimes that's not true to who I am as a sneaker collector.
I agree. It should definitely be what you like.
Yeah.
Because sneakers is nothing more to me than just wearable art.
Exactly.
So it should always be something that you can appreciate because, nobody wants to buy something just because somebody else has it. And then when you get it, you're like, why did I buy that? It's like buying a piece of furniture that you saw everybody grabbing at the store. And then when you put it in your house, you're like, why did I buy that? That don't go with nothing in my living room.
It doesn't
that don't go with
else.
nothing in my living room.
It's so true though. That's a very good way of putting it. It's so true. So that's, and people who ask me about my collection and sneakers and how I decide, it's like, I just buy what feels good and feels right for me.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
And so where do you would like to see your content creation through photography? Like, where would you like to see that going forward?
That's one thing I always try to find out for myself as a destination. I think
Yeah.
my destination wouldn't be a physical point on my timeline. I think my destination would be when I start to see women being more seen, heard, and respected.
Yeah.
When I go to sneaker events and it's more compliments geared towards women.
Right.
When I see more sneaker releases geared towards women, when sneaker releases are special for women, I think that's when I'll be like, somebody heard me.
Yes.
Somebody heard me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I try to tell people, everybody always come to me and like, oh man, you make decent content. Like, how come you don't do more so we can learn who you are? And I'm like, my platform is not for me, it's for them.
It's interesting because in a way, I feel like, your platform, while specifically not geared towards yourself, it's still an expression of who you are.
Yes.
Right? Like, I through your content and through your, posts that you make, it's very much, you're very much, a friend of women.
Yes.
You're a family man, you're so supportive of your partner, and it's just so wonderful to see. So I feel like while, yes, your page isn't specifically geared for you specifically, and I know you do pop up every once in a while.
Yeah, I noticed that. You're not the easiest person to find on your own page. You're not.
No, he's not.
But that's okay. That's okay.
And that's totally
how you run
okay.
it, so
exactly. And it's very much, and like I said, I feel like this is still an expression of who you are as a person.
Yes. I just want a place where everybody can feel comfortable and safe to come to. Like my goal of when I post women is just for other women to notice other women and get together and communicate and compliment each other and help each other out. I had some women hit me up and was like, there's a girl you posted and she looked familiar and she happened to live in the same city I lived in. And I never would have known that if I would have looked at your page. So now they're like best friends and they try to get each other sizes and they'll tag me and stuff like that. Like that's the goal. To see DMs, messages like that is a goal. Like that's the whole purpose, is for other women to support other women. Because you know how just the culture alone by itself is like a lot of women throw shade at each other or jealous of each other.
Yeah.
I just wanted to find something that was a common ground, which I think is sneakers, and just run from there.
Yeah. No, and it's fabulous. I mean, I've met, not physically met, but like have encountered so many other female sneakerheads in their accounts and just started following them and just sort of connected and through DMs and messaging and just supporting and uplifting. And it's just been, it's been wonderful. Like between you and another female-led sneaker account, you know, I've met incredible women all over the world. So
it's so crazy. You never know what somebody's going through. Somebody could be having a hard day and they don't post it on the page now, but maybe my shout out might do something for them.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, well, I think Lionel, you're gonna kick it off again, or
yeah. So yeah, I think if we kind of continue to go through, you know, some of the questions that we have here for you, you know, so obviously you're doing a lot here to magnify women and sneaker culture, but like, what's the reaction you're getting from the women sneaker community? Are they embracing it? Do you have, sometimes you have people kind of look at you sideways and like, why are you doing this? Like, give us your insight.
I definitely do get questioned a lot. I definitely do. I do get here and there. People will say, like, why did you repost me? Or why are you reposting women? But it don't really be the women that be so judgmental. It'll always be like a thank you and keep going.
yeah,
But it will be, believe it or not, a lot of guys with those shade towards it. More, I'll get more men with a negative reaction than women. Most men, most of the negative messages I get will be from men that are saying, why are you highlighting women? What are you getting out of this? You're making it hard for us because you're encouraging women to go out and buy more shoes. You're creating more sneakerheads because a woman might just be into heels, but you keep posting girls with a nice outfit. Now she's getting outfit ideas, and now she want to go get my shatter backboards that I'm trying to find.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's not the whole thing here, is for me to make anybody anything. My whole thing is just to have people be seen and appreciated.
Yeah. There is definitely a lot of gatekeeping that still happens. So it's nice that, you know, you are sort of breaking down those barriers and allowing women to step up and be seen and heard and appreciated for what they contribute to the community as well.
Yes. But yeah, I definitely get questioned a lot about it. And what's my motive? What's my end goal? And stuff like that in a negative way and everything. But like I said, I don't look for nothing out of it. And the passion comes so far from me having 6 older sisters and me only being the only boy and the baby of the family. I've watched my sisters be so belittled by men, not just in sneaker culture, but just in life itself. And I always wanted to defend my sisters and stand up for my sisters. Yeah. So one day I went to my first sneaker event and I seen a girl being harassed by 2 other guys. I can't remember what shoes she had on, but the 2 guys was like, what do you know about that? You don't know nothing about what you have on and this and that. And they was like ganging up on her. And I could tell like she was defeated in the face, but she didn't show it, but I could see it. Yeah. So ever since then, I was like, that's not right. Like, no. She might not know nothing about Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen or anything, but she like what she likes. We all like what we like.
Exactly.
So that's what really started making me kick it off, because I really never seen nobody else fight for women like that. I've seen people speak of it, but I never seen people take action.
Exactly. Yeah, and you shouldn't have to prove your knowledge, because let's face it, no one knows everything.
Yeah, I don't know everything.
No one knows everything. And, you know, it's tiring for, as a female sneakerhead, having to prove my value through knowledge, or to prove that I know the information and the history. And it's like, dude, come on. Let me be me. Let me do what I want to do. And I don't need to prove anything to you.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. To me, women are like the breadwinners in a way to me. I think a woman is more likely to spend more money than a guy will. Believe it or not. I don't care how much a man likes sneakers. When a woman likes something, they're gonna buy it. If they want to stream their whole house with Christmas lights, they're gonna stream their whole house with Christmas lights.
That's exactly it.
So I feel like we need to appreciate women more. Like, I'm pretty sure brands see that too, that majority of the customers might be women. We might not even know it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think the times are changing. The market is changing so rapidly, and it's taken a long time for brands to get on board to create product and stories for women.
Mhm.
But we're going in the right direction. I think, you know,
We are.
from where we were in 5 years ago to in 2018 to where we are now, and the product that they're creating and the stories, and it's an untapped market. I think the brands even see
Yeah.
that this is a market that can continue to grow. Like you said, when there's a product that women want, women will go out and get it. They'll
Yeah.
do whatever is necessary to secure the bag and get that particular product. But you touched on something earlier, and I think that was great perspective on your upbringing, and that you grew up
Mhm.
in a household of six, you know, six siblings that were all women. So
Yes.
I think that gives you tremendous perspective, and
Yeah.
I can kind of now connect the dots and why you you're the way you are, and how you are, you know, creating, you know, a platform for women, which is very remarkable. But I think what some people just don't understand is sometimes it's just not easy being an ally, and some of
Yeah.
your biggest obstacles are people that are directly in your circle because they don't understand why.
Mhm.
Why am I advocating for a woman? Why? Like, you're a dude. Like, why are you advocating for women? And myself, I am a huge WNBA fan. I've been a fan for years, and I think the game growing and the players being more angle, it's only led to me wanting to watch more. Like, I have the WNBA app. I wear the WNBA product. I'm super excited to go to the game here in Toronto on May 13th. So if you didn't know, you can get your tickets as of Wednesday. Early birds
Yep.
could get it as of today. But I think it's just an opportunity to really yield privilege, and then take the opportunity to really take the time to learn about someone else's struggle, and then really be able to advocate it and magnify it. Like, I'm in a group at my own job, and one of the groups that it's a human resource group, is really to help support women. It's called Empowered, and really the middle three letters is HER. And
Mhm.
the whole idea is I'm the only male that is on the leadership team, but it's for me to help advocate for women that are within the group that need to have a voice, that just don't feel that they've ever haven't and been given the opportunity. So I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but there are lots of people out there like me that want to do the right thing and give people an equal platform. I think it just, you have to have a different mindset than people of years gone by, where women got pushed to the side or not even heard from at all. So I think it's a big opportunity we have, and I'm just proud to talk to you that this is what you're doing, because what you're doing is making a difference 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can lead the way. 'Cause I agree with what you said. I think some people, I think there are more people that want to do what I'm doing, but they may be hesitant because they're scared of the judgment or the
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I think I've started seeing the most traction towards the end of last year. And like, brands and everybody started reaching out to me, asking the same thing, like, hey, we've been watching your page, it's very positive, but why? And then when I tell them what I told you, they was like, oh, okay, so you're passionate about this.
Yeah.
We just gotta make sure, because some people just do things, get something out of it. But when you're passionate about something, it shows
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know part of the core of my motivation is that I'm a girl dad. I am through and through
Mhm.
a girl dad. I have a 7.5-year-old. We count halves in our house. So she's 7.5. And you know, she's gymnastics and basketball. My wife played basketball and ran cross country and track. And the dog that we have, our three-legged wonder named Rosie, she is a female too. So I am the only male in this house right now, but I am pro woman 100%. And I think if you can have that right mindset, and how everyone can have a place at the dinner table, and how the world and businesses and sneakers and hip hop could all grow together if women have a better platform. It's like, I know I'm doing the right thing. People just need to understand and get on board.
I agree. And I've seen some crazy things. Because, you know, a lot of shoes could be like so many multicolors, so many different tones, or it may be something us males were hesitant to buy, but we like it. But we'll be like, it's a little too hot pink, or it's a little too this. Like women could pick any shoe and create a style from it. And I think that is so unique, you know, and not just because they're females, but women always go out the box because women love to be different. No woman want to go to the ballroom and have the same dress on that another woman has.
No, never.
You know?
Never.
So I see women with sneakers the same way. So that's why I always put in my post, you know, women could go toe to toe with any man because I feel as though they're willing to be more outgoing.
Yeah.
You should see some of the things that Karen wears to the office. She pushes the envelope 100%. Put you on blast right now, Karen. You know what I'm talking about. You haven't seen some of the fits. Go check her out on Instagram, Kayinsnkrland. You'll see fits. Just watch the story. Just hang out on the story Monday to Friday, and you're just gonna see. It's like, whoa, she's wearing that to work. And it's like,
I pushed the envelope in the office.
And I think that's so dope because I think the whole mindset of sneakers is to have fun with it. You know, that's our childhood side of us, you know, our personality and everything. You know, you're in a good mood, you might go out there, you know, wear a bright shoe or a colorful shoe or something. But if you really feel low key, you just trying to go to the post office, come right back, you might just wear something simple, all black. You know, like sneakers are personality. When you look at that, you're like, oh, that shoe is real colorful. That person must be real, you know, spontaneous. That person must be, you know, that's the way I look at things.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And to your earlier point, like it's wearable art.
Love it.
Oh, I took that quotable. I'm gonna be using that one. So if we kind of get back into a couple of the other questions that we had. So, you know, obviously it's Women's History Month, and this is Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. You can find us on YouTube, but also you can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Google. You can find it on so many different streaming platforms, including Apple. But if we kind of get into the question of what's happening from your brand's perspective for International Women's Day, which is on the 8th, that's Wednesday, and then what also, you know, you're doing this month, are there things that you have special planned, or you're just looking to continue to, you know, champion your cause of amplifying some voices when it comes to the women in the sneaker community?
I mean, I was definitely thinking of doing like a nice tribute to women.
Okay.
Like make a nice reel or something that's a tribute to women. That was definitely, I don't want to say too much of that because I want to surprise the women. Last month I did team up with a brand called Lavish Citizen. It's a clothing line that's ran by a woman, and she invited me and my wife on a shoot, and of so many different women from different cultures and towns together. It was our first time all strangers meeting each other basically. And the vibe was great. And I think she's supposed to be releasing something this month of it. You know, took a couple shots and everything. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely will do. I saw you post some stuff to your stories about that, and it looked absolutely incredible and amazing. And it looked like everybody was having fun.
Yes, it was definitely dope. It was nice.
Okay, so we like to have this fun segment on this podcast. It'll be the first time that Karen takes part in this, or just at least hears it from the host point of view, but we call it cop or pass. So I'm going to give you a shoe. You know, some of the shoes are shoes that are coming up in the very near future. You got to tell me whether this is a cop or a pass for you. So we will start with, now he's been a little controversial, but John Morant has his own shoe coming out called the Day One. Is that a cop or a pass for you?
I'm not judgmental. I think the shoe is okay. I'm gonna say it's a cop.
Okay. So big conversations that Karen and I have had many a times in the last month. So a very special pair of Air Force Ones is coming out. It is the Tiffany Air Force One. For you, is that a cop or a pass if you can get your hands on it?
It's a pass to me. I feel like the quality is probably amazing, knowing Tiffany, but I think they could have just put a little bit more effort in it. I think I saw a friends and family pair that I probably would have copied. It was like the reverse of it.
It was the blue, the Tiffany
Yes.
blue and the black swoosh. Yeah.
But the original one that's released now, it's a pass.
Okay.
Yep.
So I believe it's going to happen in the summer. So the original Huarache basketball shoe, that if you go back to like 1991, 92, that the Fab Five wore when
like
they
the
were
high
all were
top?
at Michigan. Yeah, the high top one. Would that be a cop or a pass when that comes out?
Oh no, it has to be a pass for me. It has to be a pass for me.
No,
It was kind of high.
That's
It was kind of high.
100% cop if I could get my hands on it.
Huaraches are super comfortable, so I can only imagine how supportive my ankle would be.
Yeah.
And Derrick Rose would be happy. But I'm gonna pass on that one. Shout out to Derrick Rose.
Oh man, wow. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna flip to a different style here. So we've seen the Flint Blue Jordan 13. It's one of the most iconic and unusual of the collection of Jordan 13s, but they're doing a black version. So it is a Flint black. The colors are the same, but except for that mesh upper is not blue anymore. It's like reflective black. Is that a cop or a pass for you?
I would say it is. I say it's a cop.
Okay.
It's a cop.
Okay. Couple more that I have for you, and maybe I'll turn it over to Karen. Maybe Karen has a couple that she might want to throw your way. But we cannot talk about sneakers this month without talking about the Jordan 3 white cement reimagined. So before you get all excited and jump through my screen right now and tell me it's a cop, there have been quality issues. There have been many sneakerheads now that are concerned with what this shoe looks like. It doesn't look like the one that they released in 2013. It definitely doesn't look like the JT halftime show one. It doesn't look like the one from 03. So now that I've kind of put you in that mindset, is that a cop or a pass?
It's a cop for me. I love it.
Too fun. Karen, I'll turn over to you. Got a couple you want to throw his way?
Yeah, this week, I'm a lover of the twos, so the UNC twos, I know it's a women's release coming out at least, well, for us, there's a few drops happening on Wednesday. Nike's releasing it on Saturday for us. What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly do not have a pair of tools. Believe it or not, out of my whole collection, I believe everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon. Some people really did have a couple pair of tools, from back in the day. But it's just so many people. I'm like, now you know. I've never seen you post a pair of tools. But I'm willing to try the blue ones. I'm kind of thinking about going to the store to go see the green ones, because the green one's sitting on shelf, and green's my favorite color. So
the green ones are beautiful. They're so nice. For me, that UNC 2 low is a definite cop for me.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I think, anyone who's not used to wearing a 2, I think a low 2 is a good segue into that universe, to get you to love the silhouette. It's so comfortable, and because it's so unique in its shape that, anything you wear with it's just going to you will stand out no matter what you are wearing.
It's the shoe of the summer. I'm telling you now.
It is the shoe of the summer.
I'm gonna give it a try. I feel as though like all white shoes look big on me. I'm a size 11, so white looks bigger.
Hey, you'd be just fine. We're the same size.
Another big one coming out is that wash denim pink Jordan 1. Are you into the pink sneakers?
No, I do like pink. But I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
Pass
on that one, yeah.
Okay, all right. So Lionel, I think those are the only couple of pairs that I had in mind that I
Okay.
wanted to sort of
Yeah.
get your gauge on, see where you're at with them.
So I think there's definitely one that's still on the radar because it's out there. The price continues to go up.
Mm.
So this would be version 5 of the Amamanier collection. So
Mhm.
we obviously have had, not in order, but I'll tell you the order that came out. We had 3, and then what did we have? 1, and then we
Yep.
had
The 2.
2, and then 4,
4.
and now we're at 2 colors of the 12.
Yep.
Both with kind of kind of looking like an original pair, but the colorways and the way they've been updated and the materials look out of this world in terms
Mhm.
of the quality. Or either of those Jordan 12s. And I personally, I like the white, but then I'll literally close my eyes and I'll open them again and I'll say black. So I'm totally on the fence for any sneaker lover that loves 12s. And I'm not a big 12s person, but I love how these two look.
Yeah.
Are either of those a cop or a pass for you?
Oh, definitely a cop. I agree with you. I think the white one do look better. The black one I might have to see in here because
Yeah.
it's like some people I see post, it look like it could be a little ashy.
Mhm.
So it all depends. I really gotta see the black one in
Yeah.
person, but I like the white one. The white one just look buttery. Like the
Yeah.
upper looks amazing on the white
Yes.
one. Let alone the velvet. Let alone the velvet.
Yeah.
But
The white
it's
one
just
is the one
something
that
about
costs
the
a lot more
upper.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. The white one looks amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to my friend Tierra,
Mhm.
88, for hooking the missus up with the white pair.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
well then.
Nice.
Hello.
Friends-
I
Well
need to make friends with the
done. Well
missus.
done.
She is a sneakerhead that her thing, they call her the retail queen.
Okay.
Every pair of her collection she paid retail for. Like
Nice.
she goes above and beyond the raffles outside. The back in the day, the way sneakers releases used to be, and she
Right.
don't stop. And she just happened to help my wife get a white pair her size and
Nice.
give it to my wife for retail. That's a real
Amazing.
friend right there.
Wow.
Real
That
friend.
is,
Sell
Give it up.
sneakers for
Holy.
retail.
yes. Well,
Hercules.
so
Hercules.
I managed to get a pair of the 12s in the white as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Karen, you're not even sharing. You getting nice shoes. I see how you are now.
You know, it was the black ones just look, in my opinion, too heavy of a shoe. And when I saw the white with the burgundy, like I'm not a fan of 12s. This will be my first pair of 12s that are in my collection. And I'm happy that it's going to be this pair. But you know, again, I'm a Meniere, you know, the James Whitner, like that group, it's like the stories, the materials, like everything about that shoe and that's behind it is just what makes it even more special.
Yeah, you guys are not going to embarrass me on here. I can't pronounce it or spell it, but I think the 12 is the second best one they made. Of course, the 3s
No,
is number 1.
No. Put some respect on that 4's name. Come on now.
I feel like the 4s they could have did a little more. It looks beautiful, but I think they could have did the whole upper a little better to me, just a little better. Because I'm a 4 fan. 4 is my favorite silhouette.
Same.
But I was like, come on, just push a little
missed the mark
more.
ever so slightly.
To me, just a little bit, but the design of that 4 and everything was perfect. Perfect, man. I just feel like I don't know whether it's missing, but it's just something. You know how you go to somebody's house and they tell you to taste something, and then you know, and you like maybe a little bit more salt. So that's how I was with the 4. It's like I rubbed the shoestrings together, and I was like, it's missing something.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna move off this subject because you're killing us with these anecdotes right now. Okay, so as we're wrapping up, you know, obviously a really amazing conversation. But you know, again, we were kind of touching on a little bit before we kind of got into, you know, some of the releases that are out there. So like, what are your thoughts right now on the sneaker community, you know, for women in general? And then how can it improve from your perspective?
I feel like, to me, I feel like the sneaker community was slowly dying. I feel like, to me, 2017, I say between 2016 and 2018, sneakers was at its peak to me. Then it started to die down in 2020. It got very big. And now I feel like it's starting to die again because it's so much like backdooring. It's like people are taking the fun out of it. The joy of sneakers was always the hunt for it. It makes you value it, you know? So I feel like women are the ones that's going to bring sneakers back because it's getting me excited just to see women dominate in the game. So I think, you know, the sneaker community is definitely going to move forward, and I think women are going to lead the way. And I'm not just saying that for Women's Month. I genuinely say they're going to lead the way.
Yeah, you very well could be 100% right. So, yeah, I when it really makes me think of, you know, I think back to the mid 2000s and then beyond, and I was already in sneakers for 10 years at that point. But how you used to have to hunt for a shoe, there was no resale market. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you had to trade it or do something or buy it out of someone's collection. There was no, like, if you have enough money in today's age, you can just go buy, cherry pick exactly what you want. There's no research. You just wait for it to release. It's like, today's the day. I'm going to buy Karen's, you know, UNC to Chicago Jordan 2 low. And I'm just going to go push a button and that's it. I'm done. I paid money for it, but I got the shoe that I wanted. There's no work that's getting done unless you want to buy stuff for retail. That's where the work kind of comes involved. But there's always this fail safe that you can go and pay extra and buy it on the resale market because it's there. It's available. Like, if you have money, you can go and buy it. But in those days, there was none. You just had to, hopefully 10 years down the road, you're going to come across a guy or a girl that's got the shoe that you want and you can buy it. That was the only other way. And you had to accept that you just didn't get a shoe. Like, you may have wanted it, maybe the shoe you wanted the whole year, and you just may not have got it and you had to accept it. So definitely different times, and hopefully the women of the sneaker community can bring things and put things back in order. Karen, any thoughts?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think, you know, women in the sneaker community is that breath of fresh air that needs to be injected into the community and just sort of liven things up again and just make everyone excited, right? Like, I just want people to be excited and just uplift everybody. And, you know, hopefully there are more men out there who will see us and hear us and appreciate what we can bring to the table, right? And I think that's what needs to happen, is just more recognition and more acknowledgement in this space.
Yeah, I totally agree. So that is it for today's episode. So a pretty amazing conversation. So Karen, first I'm turning to my left because that's where you're on my screen.
That's right.
Hats off to you on your first co-host episode. It's pretty awesome. Again, this will be all available on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Google. So it will be available on Wednesday, International Women's Day. So it'll be pretty awesome to launch this one then. And the Heartbreak Kidd, you were an absolutely amazing guest. Karen found you, so I'm giving her all the credit, but you were an absolute amazing guest. We definitely will have to have you back and chop it up about something else. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights and sharing your story. And yeah, you definitely cracked a couple of jokes. You had me laughing in stitches. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys allowing me on the platform and everything, and, you know, sharing my thoughts and ideas for women in the sneaker game. And let's just make sneakers fun again, guys.
Absolutely. Let's make sneakers fun again. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, everyone, for listening. That is this episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. Hopefully you enjoy International Women's Day and all the festivities that will happen this month. Take the time to listen, educate yourself, and observe and give those women that are in the community, whether it's sneakers, hip hop, or anything else, give them their flowers. Bye for now. Peace.